This is my 2002 Dodge Durango. I bought this from a local car dealer when it had 198,000 miles on it about 5 years ago. It's now got 223,000 miles on it, give or take a few. What I say here is my opinion based on my own experience. I don't have any special expertise in cars or car repairs. I just do as much of my own work as my skills, tools, and time allow. Please don't take what I say as professional advice, but do feel free to add to the discussion in the comments. This is a 2002 Dodge Durango with the SXT trim. SXT was the most basic trim. I have never found SXT trim on any parts website when it asks for the trim level, so I just choose the sport trim. This Durango has the 4.7 liter V8 engine. The engineers at Dodge must have given some good thought in the design stages as to how to work on this thing. I found it fairly easy to work on, and I am not a professional mechanic of any kind. This comes out fairly easily. This front bumper comes off with 4 bolts. The fuses here and relays here, as well as the ones inside, are easy to reach. Batteries accessible. I haven't had very little difficulty doing the things that I've needed to do on this vehicle, and that I appreciate. One thing I really like about this vehicle is that I can change the oil without having to jack it up or drive it on ramps. I just set the brake, shock the wheels, crawl into there, and change the oil. It has body on frame construction, which is something I like. It has an automatic transmission, driver and passenger airbags, 4-wheel drive that only takes a flip of the switch to activate. Automatic door locks, automatic windows, power mirrors, it's got heated mirrors, something which is definitely not needed today. It's got a well laid out instrument cluster, including a tachometer, anti-lock brakes, intermittent windshield wipers, rear window washer and wiper, dual climate control, one for the passenger, one for the driver, rear window defroster, AM FM, cassette player, and CD player. It's got a handy console that makes a good armrest, and it's good storage space. You can add your CDs here, and keep your cassette tapes over here. And a spot for your spare change. It is wired for a trailer. It's 3 cigarette lighter power outlets. 1, 2, 3. Got decent storage space in the doors, whatever you want to store there. Decent storage for the back. Got cup holders. Another storage space here in the console. The row seat has nice fold down console with cup holders. Lots of options for adjusting the airflow. The seat belts are adjustable. And it's not just the front seat belts that are adjustable, but the back ones are as well. It has floor mats. They appear to be factory floor mats. It's got two nice storage areas in the back. There's one. I usually have it full of stuff, but emptied it out for this video. With the seats folded down, there's a significant amount of storage space back here. It's got a couple of anchor points back here to tie down your cargo, so it doesn't whack you if you brake hard. There's also anchor points on the back of that second row seat there. I think that's designed for child seats, but can also be used for tie down cargo. This is a handy storage space. Some models of the Durango have a third row seat, and that's what would go here normally. This one does not, but it does make a handy storage space. I usually keep some maps and other small items back there. Got a nice trailer hitch and is wired for towing. Front disc. Rear drum brakes. Front torsion bar. Rear leaf spring suspension. Got a nice beefy suspension and drive line. Full-size spare tire. Got cloth interior. Still in very good condition. That's about the worst of the wear of it right there. Here are the things I like about the Durango. I think it's a decent looking vehicle. Dodge did a good job with the styling on this vehicle inside and out. I like the color of this vehicle. As you can see, it matches the landscape in this part of the country, which I think is a good touch for something that's made for adventure. It feels solid when I'm driving it. Some smaller cars feel like a tin can, but this one feels solid. I like driving this truck. I find myself taking it almost every time I go somewhere, even though I have two other choices right now. This truck, or SUV, is big enough that I don't feel like I'm certain to get crushed at any second by the giant pickups that are common in this area. But it's small enough to be easily maneuverable in parking lots, tight spaces, fairly tight trails, that kind of thing. When I hit the gas, that 4.7 liter engine moves this right along quite nicely. Has excellent acceleration and more than enough horsepower. I haven't towed anything other than a Harbor Freight trailer with it, but it's rated to tow up to 5,000 pounds and has a nice beefy tow hitch there in the back, along with the electric brake system already installed. Between the trailer hitch and this nice roof rack, it's got everything you need to haul kayaks, bicycles, trailer with ATVs, whatever you want to haul. It's got quite a lot of ground clearance, and I believe there's somewhere around 18 inches between the ground and the bottom rocker panel. I once did a water crossing and was fortunate that no water got in the truck because it was high enough off the ground. That ground clearance has come in handy before. I took a road just up the road from where I'm at right now that on the map said it was a road, but Turned out to not have been a road for some time, and it got through the huge holes and around quite a few obstacles without bottoming out, and got us out of there just fine. It could have been a nasty situation had it not been for that. Dodge made this style of Durango from 1998 through the 2003 model years and produced over 100,000 of them each year. The Durango is also based on the Dodge Dakota pickup, so pretty much everything from the B pillar here forward, it shares with the Dodge Dakota pickup, which means that parts are readily available. Since so many of these were built, and it shares many, if not most, of the running parts with the Dodge Dakota pickup, getting spare parts for these vehicles is rarely a problem. This Durango here has several parts that I pulled from local salvage yard on it, and I think there are at least 5 of these in that salvage yard right now. Salvage yard parts are usually dirt cheap, and you're getting, most of the time, you're getting a actual manufacturer part rather than a cheap knockoff. From my experience, Dodge did a really good job of making this vehicle relatively easy to work on. I have had little difficulty getting to the parts I've needed to replace once I understood tricks like how to remove the front bumper. See my other video on that. Dodge did a good job with the engine, as this one's lasted well over 200,000 miles. This truck is new enough to have some of the comforts and safety features of the newer ones, but old enough not to have many of the expensive parts that the newer SUVs and pickups have. I like that this has a full-size spare tire. I made another video on my channel about how to remove that spare tire. That was many of the things I like about the vehicle. Here's a few that I don't like. One is its age. When this truck rolled off the assembly line in Newark, Delaware, George W. Bush was the president. That was 21 years ago. The auto industry's made great steps forward in safety since then. This warning sign is no joke. These old SUVs will roll over very easily. You can see lots of examples of that on YouTube. These are also the older airbags. I do not believe it has any sensor in this seat to tell us something's there or not. So one does not want small children or pets in this front seat if that airbag goes off. There are no side curtain airbags in this vehicle. If your head contacts that pillar at any speed, that's going to hurt. This has an older anti-lock brake system and rear drum brakes. These brakes are touchy. I keep a generous following distance. One downside is that this beautiful 4.7 liters of V8 power comes at a price of 12 to 14 miles per gallon in the type of driving I normally do. I don't remember what we got last time I went out of town on the freeway, but it's definitely no Prius. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully, if one of you is looking for one of these Durangos, it might give you some information about them that's helpful. And as for me, I'm gonna see where this road goes.